Well, good afternoon again, everyone. I'm back here again with the second segment of making Thanksgiving pies. My first one, I made a pecan pumpkin pie, and that's in the oven. It has about 5 minutes to go yet. Yeah, I already pulled off the foil from around the pan to keep the crust from burning. I put my fork in there, or I should say knife in there, and it came up gooey. So the pie's not quite ready yet, so I set it for another 8 minutes, and we'll pull it out at that time and see how it is doing. So we're going to get going now with my second pumpkin pie, and this comes out of our Betty Crocker cookbook. So just to give recognition that that's where the pie recipe comes from. All right, so we're going to start off first with 2 eggs. So I'll crack my 2 eggs into my bowl here. There's the first one, and now the second one. And if you remember, I got my pie crust ready early, so that it makes it easier. I don't make my own pie crust, as I told you before, but I buy them at the store. So now I'm going to put in 2 cups of pumpkin. Pre-measured that already, so there we go. The 2 cups of pumpkin into the eggs. Let's put that bowl over there. And now to the eggs and the pumpkin, I've got 1/4 cup of sugar. I'll put in here, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So here's my salt. I got my 1/2 teaspoon measure here, so just sprinkle that on top of all that pumpkin. Okay, and now I want 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. As I said before, we go heavy on cinnamon, so I'm making that a heaping teaspoonful. And then I need 1/4 tablespoon of cloves. We're going to have to buy some more cloves here. Okay. I'm just going to empty that whole thing in there, and it's a little bit more than my 1/4 teaspoon, but that's all right. Tastes good anyway. Okay, now it calls for 1½ cups of milk product. It says here in the recipe, evaporated milk or light cream. Well, since my wife is lactose intolerant, instead of using a milk product, we will use Silk in this recipe. So this is protein, Silk, soy milk, and it's vanilla flavored. So I will measure out 1½ cups of the Silk. I didn't measure this out previously because I want to show you that we use Silk instead of regular milk. So I want 1½ cups. Let me move my finger so I can see where 1½ cups come. There we go. 1½ cups of Silk soy milk instead of regular milk. We adapt a lot of recipes using non-dairy products because of my wife's lactose intolerance issue. We like to watch Chew an awful lot on TV, and my wife wishes that the Chew would show sometime making recipes for people who are lactose intolerant and have other allergies. Now we're going to mix this together. Okay, let's go now. Okay, it's looking like it's mixing together nicely. Got to get all that cinnamon mixed in here and everything else. So this will take a few minutes to mix it up. Looks like it's combining nicely now. If I remember, I'll show you what it looks like before I pour it into the pie shell. Now, here's my pie shell, and as I said on my previous episode when I made the pecan pumpkin pie, I said I remember buying jeans at one time, and one of the pairs with tears and holes and stuff in it like that said, "The blemishes in the product add to its beauty." So the blemishes in this pie crust add to the beauty of the pie. All right, so this looks like it's pretty well stirred up. Let me me take this out of here, put it in my pie crust, and here's what my pumpkin pie filling looks like then. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pour this into the pie crust, just like that. Scrape out the rest of all this goodness in here. Okay, now just smooth it out a little bit. There we go. All right, now I have to get the foil for lining the pan. My wife prepared it for me ahead of time, and this keeps our crust from burning. Okay, before I add this, let me pull out my other pumpkin pie I have here, that pecan pumpkin pie. It's been now going for, about 58 minutes. So, let me show you what it looks like as it comes out of the oven right now. Now, doesn't that look just delicious? Look at that pie. Oh, I can't wait to sink my teeth into it. Now I'm going to grab my knife again, and I'm just going to stick it in here and see how it comes out. And, ooh, wow, look at that. It came out nice and clean, so that means this pie is done. So, close up my oven and move this over onto the rack here. Wow, look at that goodness. That is going to be simply delicious tomorrow. All right, there we go. All right, now, back to this one. Let me check the temperature here. Ooh, that says 425, so I gotta jump this to 425. Won't take too long to get up there. All right, there we go. Now it's preheating to get me up to my 225 degrees for this pie. And we're just going to wrap this all the way around the pie. Crimp it together right here so it stays together. And this prevents the crust from burning. So, I don't want to tip this too much, but here's what this pie looks like. Okay, so I'm going to put it back down here, and I'm waiting for the temp oven to preheat. I will put it in the oven for about 55 minutes, check it with my knife. If my knife comes out clean, then the pie is ready. If it comes out kind of sloppy, that means then we need to continue baking the pie. So with that, I will bid you farewell. We're not going to wait for the oven to preheat for this, and I wish you a happy Thanksgiving to you and your families, and may God bless your day. Have a good day. Goodbye from Cooking with Dave, the Lutheran cook.